everyone, we're back and we are here to finish up this beautiful Starburst card. I made this a masculine card because not very many times do we see a card that has a wow factor as a masculine card, and I really wanted something. As I told you in Tuesday's video, this is a card for my son, so I did want to make it kind of extra special, and I wanted something that would kind of wow, and I think this might do it. I hope so. So anyway, I've gone ahead and got my front panels cut, and I am going to use this that's on the back of that, which shows the barbecue with the sauce, the flame, all of the utensils. There's a pig, the barbecue sauce. I just love this one, and I thought he would really enjoy this. So what I did is I cut mats out of Early Espresso, and these mats measure 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. And what we're going to do, they're going to go on here. But before we glue them down, I also have designer series paper that is 5 1/2 by 2 1/2. And these are going to glue on top of this. So I'm going to go ahead and get these glued down before we put them on the card. I just find it much easier if I do it that way. So let's go ahead and put some glue on here. So I'm going to squiggle my glue around my edges and down the middle. And then I just want to get this centered up on here as best I can. You know, we're not perfectionists, but we do strive for that. So nothing wrong with striving to be the best you can be. I'm going to iron that glue out so that lays nice and flat. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this piece. So go ahead and do my little circles of glue. Just like that. And those are now ready to go on the front of our card. So let's go ahead and glue these down. Same thing, I'm just going to use some liquid glue. Now you could use whatever adhesive you like, if you have tape runners or Stampin' Seal or two-sided tape, however you want to do yours. But I'm just going to use the glue because I love my liquid glue. And press that nice and tight. You got a lot of bulk in this card, so it's going to be crucial to make sure you get everything ironed out. I'll turn it over and flatten everything out like that, just to make sure you get it, you know, down like you want it. So I think I'll do this one this way, and we're going to put that one on something like that. So again, liquid glue, and let's get this on here like so. Give that a good press. Again, I'm going to iron it out using my bone folder. And that is going to be the front of our card. I love that. So remember I told you we're going to need a belly band. Well, to make this belly band, we're going to need, we really need a piece of the cardstock. Let's see what we got here. This might work. Nope, not quite. And that was a 12 by 12 piece. So even a 12 by 12 is not going to give you the belly band size you need. So you're going to have to piece this. I don't mind piecing, because I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to use this piece, and I'm going to glue it together with my element that I want to put on the front. Let me tell you one other piece that you're going to need. I hope I didn't lose it. You're going to need a little piece for your inside pop-up, And this piece is 1 inch by 3 inches. And let me tell you how you're going to score. You're going to score 1/2, 1, 2, and 2.5. And then when you get ready to fold this piece, you are going to fold it a valley, a mountain, a mountain, a valley. So when you finish, it's going to look like this. See what it looks like? And what that is going to do, these little tabs are going to glue right to the edge in the middle of this, just like that. So what you want to do is put some liquid glue, and I would just do one side at a time. And I'm going to bring that up in the middle, right on that line. I'm just going to hold that for a minute and let it adhere. Sometimes with glue it takes a minute. Then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to put glue on this side. I don't know if I gave that long enough to set. So we're going to put glue on this side, this little tab. And I'm going to do the same thing. I want to make sure that I bring that right up to that fold line, just like that. And now I'm just going to hold both of them just for a minute. And you see what that's doing? That's giving us a little platform for our little pop-up in the middle that's going to come up when it's opened. Isn't that cute? All right. So I used my stylish shape dies, and that's these right here. And in these dies, the stylish shapes, you get circles and rectangles, and they're stitched, which gives it a nice effect. And I used my largest to cut out, and I used the Early Espresso cardstock. I'm going to lay these back in here. And I want to glue this in as a triangle. I think with all the angles that we're using, that's going to give it a really nice touch. But I have this little thing that says "You're flippin' awesome," and I have a grill. So I want to bring this piece down, and I want to set my grill like that. So I'm going to glue this down just like I have it. So the first thing I want to do, I know that I want to make sure that just the tip of that is showing. So I'm going to line that up on a line, and I'm going to put my grill right there and put this right here. So I'm just going to take some liquid glue get a nice coverage on the back. I'm going to bring my little grill up underneath there just a hair, and I'm going to tap that down. And I want to make sure that I don't have glue, and I don't, which is good. So now I want to come under here, and I just want to run some glue right up the middle of that little grill with the flames on it. And then I'm going to bring this back over, and that's going to go in just like that. Now I'm going to do a test run, so I'm going to use some, this is not a Stampin' Up! Product, but I want to do a trial run with a temporary adhesive. You could use a glue dot, something you can pull back off. So I just want to get to a trial run to make sure that that's going to sit in there, and it does. Sits in there beautifully. So now I know that that's going to work right there. I can put my adhesive. Actually, I think what I'm going to do is put my adhesive on this and then sit it down where I want it. So I'm going to grab my Stampin' Seal. I don't want to use that one. I want something very strong and permanent. So I'm going to grab Stampin' Seal, and I'm going to cover this little piece just like that, and I might even go back over the places I didn't get adhesive and use that. And now I'm going to come in here and sit this down using that triangle as my guide. And I think we have done it. Beautiful. And see what I mean, how that pops out when you lift the card up, and it sits out like that when you're, I'm loving this card. So now let's go ahead and figure out what we're going to do with our belly band. So I think what I want to do, I told you I'm going to put it together with using a rectangle or something like a rectangle. Maybe we'll go back in, let's get a piece of crumb cake. I'm going to look in my scraps first, and I don't have anything big in crumb cake, so let me grab a piece of crumb cake. And I think what I may want to do, keeping up with the theme of what we're doing, do I want to use that rectangle again? I want something a little bit bigger on the front. I think what I'm going to do is grab, let me put my pen back in my glue. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my stitched rectangles. And I am going to take out one that I think might be the size that I want it. And I think that's it right there. And I am going to cut a piece of this off about the size I need it. I like to cut my paper down so I'm not wasting a whole lot. And let's see, let's lay this on here and see about what we need. All right, we need about 3 1/4. So I'm going to go ahead and run this through my die cut machine. Tell you what, let's cut it this way too. And the reason I like to cut especially my rectangles or squares close to what I need is because when I put them through my die cut machine, I like to put them in at an angle. And sometimes you can't do that if it's bigger, because it's going to crinkle your paper. So I'm going to cut this out. And if you put it in at an angle, you're not going to have that popping that you would normally get from your die cut machine if you put it in straight. You might get a little pop at the end. That's it. But you know, a lot of times if you go straight in, you see I'm just at a slight angle. If you went straight in, you know, like that, it would have given you that resistance, and it can damage your machine as well as your dies. Now there's times you can't help it. You have to go in that way, but if you don't have to, I say don't do it. Okay, there's our piece. And there's our card. And I know that I want something that's going to scream happy birthday on the front. So I'm going to pause just for a moment, and I am going to go over and look for something that's birthday-ish. And I'll be right back. We need some stamps and maybe some dies or what have you. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back, and I got this stamp set called Biggest Wish, and this is a really cool stamp set. It is a photopolymer, and I love the fact that you can do happy and birthday, or you can stamp it over top of each other. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that. But first, let's work on this belly band. What I decided to do was I cut just another piece of scrap that was a little bit smaller than my piece that I'm going to put on the front. I want that to go underneath this, something like that, just to kind of give me something underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of glue right on the end of this. And I'm going to bring that over. I'm just going to hold it for a second, let that glue adhere. Then I'm going to pull this one back and I'm going to do the same thing here. And bring it over. And then you can see when we put this on here, it's just going to give us a little bit of reinforcement underneath, which I think will be great considering our belly band is not quite big enough. So I thought that would just give me a little bit of reinforcement. And what I might even do to keep it from looking so wonky, I think that's my word for the week, maybe even the month. I'm just going to cut that off like that. Something like that. That's just going to reinforce that belly band right through there so that we don't have any issues. Now we can go ahead and put this down wherever we want it to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to slide this back onto my card first. Just to kind of get an idea where I want this to fall at, and I think right about there is good. So I'm going to use some, well, I want to stamp first. Let's get our stamping done. So I am going to take out, I'm not sure how I want to do this. I think I want to do happy. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a little test run on a piece of this color cardstock. Let's see if I got a scrap that's smaller that I can use for that. I have a couple of scraps here we can use. And I wanted to pull out a different color ink, but I think I'm going to stick with the Cajun Craze because we kind of went with that on the inside and I wanted to do something a little brighter on the outside. So we're going to try this and hope that it works. So let me get a stamp block and I'm going to pick up the Happy. And since this is photopolymer, I am going to get my Stampin' Pierce mat. And I'm going to stamp Happy up like that. I'm going to let that sit there for a minute because this is a solid like stamp. So whenever you've got solid, you really want to let that ink transfer. Now I'm not rocking it, I'm just holding it very still, putting a good amount of pressure against it. And that gave me a beautiful Happy. So my Happy made me happy. So I'm going to, let's grab my Stampin' Scrub, and I need a little, I'll tell you what, we're just going to activate it with a little water. And I'm going to go ahead and clean this off. And then I want to grab the birthday. And I'm wondering if I want to do the birthday in a different color. But see what I mean, how you can stamp that over top of it? And I'm wondering if I want to do birthday in Early Espresso. That will look almost like it's black. but when it dries it won't be. It'll be a nice rich brown. So let's take the birthday, the happy off, and let's pick up our birthday. And I love that bold happy with the script birthday. I think that's so cute. And we're going to stamp birthday right in the middle, over to the side. Nope, I don't like that. So let's try birthday. Let me try it again. Maybe I want to go the other way. Maybe I want to do happy with the script and birthday in the bold. Let's try that. Let's do let's try it like that and see what we get. And I still want to go back with that Cajun Craze. So let's do happy. I'm going to do happy in the darker color, the early espresso. And then we're going to pick up the birthday. And we're going to do that in the Cajun Craze. Let's see how this is going to look. I like that better. I think that's what I'm going to go with. All right, so let's go ahead and get our piece over here that we're actually going to stamp on, and that's this piece here. So again, I'm going to go in and I'm going to put happy right about here. And then we're going to go back into the Cajun Craze with the word birthday. And I think I like that. It's not overbearing. It looks masculine, and that's where I'm trying to keep this masculine without putting too much frills in it, but yet I want it to be a card that pops as well. So let's look at this on the front and see what it looks like. I like that, but you know what? I feel like this piece needs to be more substantial. So I am going to cut another piece to go behind it. Maybe, no, I'm going to just cut another piece. Did I not do that? Yeah, I think I got it wide enough. I didn't, it's okay because this is just going to be a backer. I just want that piece to be a little stronger. Let's see how I did. Hey, I did it. How about that? Just barely. Okay. So what I want to do with this is I want to glue this down to it. So let's move this stamping pad out of our way, or mat. And I think I'm going to use liquid glue. And we're going to put that right down on top of it, and then I'm going to bring it up and just tap it all the way around to make sure that it's squared up perfectly. Give it a good press. I'll turn it over and give it an iron. And now this is nice and sturdy and ready to go on our card. So what I'm going to do here is I am going to put down some Stampin' Seal. And some glue. And then I'm going to bring this piece over, center it on that belly band exactly where I want it. Give it a press and slide it off just for a minute so I can get up underneath here and give it a good press. And there's our belly band. Now I am going to put a couple of gems on it, but I'm going to look and see if I've got something that is masculine. Not frilly or feminine, but you know, something that's, and that's always hard to do. You know, bows and gems don't usually look too good on a masculine card. So I am looking for something these brush metallics might work. Yeah, I think the brush metallics is about the only thing I've got that really looks, you know, somewhat masculine. And I think I'm going to go with those right there. So let's go ahead and put the cover on our glue. And I'm going to take, your pick tool and I'm going to pick up one of these. Yeah, I think that'll look nice. Maybe one of the smaller ones. And another big one over on this side. Something like that. So let's move everything to the side and let's see how our card looks. There's the opening. Love that. And then it pulls down like this. Now I will have to make an envelope for this, and I will use my envelope punch board to do that. So this will go off to my son. In fact, I need to get this in the mail ASAP. Yes, I'm recording this on Tuesday, directly after the one that y'all are seeing on Tuesday, but this will go up on Friday, so you'll be watching the end of this on Friday. But I am going to get this in the mail ASAP. I love you guys so much, and I just want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting my channel, helping me grow my business. And if you're interested in any of the Stampin' Up! Products that you saw me use, please reach out to me, or you can go directly to my online store and shop right there. Pay for it. It's very secure with a debit or credit card, and you will get notification as well as me. And if you spend $50 and use my host code, which you will see the host code pop up about here, you will receive a free gift from me. And if you purchase anything during the month of August, you'll also be able to earn celebration items, and they've added a bunch of new stuff, and I have a video up on that as well. So God bless and keep you. I love you guys so much, and until we craft again, I always close with this statement: let everything that you do and say bring glory to our Father in heaven. He is worthy. Until we craft again, God bless and keep you. Bye-bye.